What's up fish friends, it's Alex here, your friendly reef dog, and today I'm going to run you through my top 8 most beautiful fish in the saltwater aquarium hobby. Before we get into the video, if you are new to the channel, I put out a video every Friday at 4 PM UK time with tips on how to set up and maintain an awesome reef tank. So if that's your goal, have a think about subscribing. Right, let's get to the list. At number 8 is the copper banded butterfly, and this icon of the hobby would be top of many people's lists. They have irresistible copper stripes lined in black on a white canvas with a pointy snout and a laterally compressed body. They're about as reef safe as butterflies get, although they may well eat zoas and meaty LPS corals like acans, but the trade-off is that they're known to eat Aptasia anemones that can otherwise ruin your tank. They'll be fine in a tank of around 125 gallons or more, but the bad news is they're notoriously difficult to get feeding, so they're a really tricky fish to keep. And many will wither and die in a short period of time, so you should take all steps you can to make sure you can care for one of these before you buy it. Number 7 is the clown triggerfish. Triggerfish are so called because of the trigger-like fins they use to lock themselves into rocks at night, and as a defence mechanism against anything brave enough to have a pop. Nothing in the hobby looks like this beast, but beast is the right word to describe the clown trigger. They're aggressive, not reef safe, and you'll need a 300 gallon plus aquarium to keep one as they grow to over 1.5 feet long. You'll also need to choose BMF tank mates who can look after themselves and won't get bullied. But you don't need a nice personality to get on this list, it's just about the looks. So if you want a prima donna supermodel for your tank, this is your fish. Number 6 on my list of the most spectacular saltwater fish is the Moorish Idol, also known as Gill to all you Finding Nemo fans. There aren't many more graceful fish in the hobby, with striking colours, an elongated rear fin and a stumpy little mouth. But before you rush out to buy one, this is also one of the most difficult fish to keep in the hobby. They'll need a large established tank and a skilled, dedicated aquarist to look after them. And even then, longevity is a serious challenge, in part because they eat sponges in the wild, which are difficult to provide in sufficient numbers in the home aquarium. Number 5 is the Tigerpyge Angelfish. This guy is a naturally occurring hybrid of 2 other stunning fish, a lemon peel angel and an ably angelfish, which is basically like getting Scarlett Johansson and Megan Fox to have a baby. They're a dwarf angelfish, which means they're relatively easy to keep, and there's a chance they'll be reef safe, although admittedly a fairly slim chance. Perhaps unsurprisingly, these guys are as rare as they are expensive. If you're lucky enough to find one, it'll probably cost you more than £1,000, although in May of this year, one came up for sale just outside of London at a measly £550. They'll need a tank of around 70 gallons, although you should only keep one specimen in a tank, as they can be aggressive with conspecifics. Number 4 on my list of the most spectacular saltwater fish is another angelfish, the Bandit Angel. And this is what you'd get if you asked a 7-year-old to draw a criminal fish. All he needs to complete the image is a swag bag and a load of 50s stuffed into his pockets. They grow to around 7 inches, so you'll need a tank of around 180 gallons or more, and although I have seen one in a reef tank, they're not known for being reef safe, so a fish only setup would probably be the way to go. They're generally peaceful unless paired with other angelfish, and they're another rare and expensive fish. The last time I saw one for sale was this guy, and he was priced at a handsome £2,200. But in a dream money no object tank, he'd be one of the first on my list. Number 3 is yet another angelfish, the Goldflake Angel. Now while there's no shortage of yellowfish in the hobby, the same can't be said for goldies, and it's that unique colouring that makes these guys so stunning. And this is one of the more attainable fish on this list. They're not too difficult to keep, and they're considered reef safe with caution, which means there's a reasonable chance they'll be okay in a reef tank, particularly one without too many fleshy LPS corals. They're also peaceful, if a little territorial, and will be happy in a tank of around 125 gallons or more. And while they're likely to set you back around £500, for a fish so striking, that doesn't actually feel too outrageous. And interrupting the run of angelfish is my choice for the second most spectacular saltwater fish, the wrought iron butterfly. And you may well need a change of trousers after seeing this resplendent Japanese native. In the wild they're common as muck, but they're rarely imported for the hobby, which, combined with paying Japanese wages for collection, means they're likely to set you back around £3,000. I was lucky enough to see this one in my local fish shop, Reefkeeper Windsor, before he was snapped up by a private collector. Being a butterfly, it may well munch on your corals, but it's so damn pretty you'd forgive it for doing so. Aside from that, they're not an especially difficult fish to keep, and supposedly they'll do well in an aquarium as small as 125 gallons. And the most spectacular saltwater fish is the Peppermint Angelfish, also known as the Holy Grail Angel. Aside from their beautiful looks, the most astonishing thing about these guys is the price tag. In the unlikely event you come across one of these, you can expect to part with around 30,000 of your American dollars. And there are several reasons they're so expensive. They're found in the Cook Islands around 7,000 kilometres off the coast of Australia, and they swim in the rocks at depths of around 300 to 400 feet. So not only do you need a diver skilled enough to dive that far down, locate and catch them, but the diver then needs to carefully bring it to the surface as the fish gets used to the change in pressure. Unsurprisingly, there isn't much information out there about keeping these in the home aquarium, so for now we'll all just have to enjoy the beauty of this uber rare fish through our computers only. So there you have it then, they are my top 8 most spectacular fish in the saltwater aquarium hobby. Now the hardest part of this video is rounding the list down, so I'd love to know what your favourites are, so let me know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe for next Friday, and until then, happy reefing.